Gratitude is one of the strongest and most transformative states of being. It shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, and it allows you to focus on the good in your life. And this, in turn, pulls more goodness into your reality. This is a quote from Jen Sincero. This month is all about finding gratitude. And today I have 5 simple and fun ways for you to practice gratitude, plus the science behind it. Welcome to The Modern Creative Woman, exploring the art and science of creativity. I'm your hostess and creativity expert, Dr. Amy Bakos. Let's get started. I just spent an amazing week in New Orleans with some dear friends and with my coach, and I am always so energized and refreshed after going on a retreat. And because this is the month of gratitude, all month long we will be working inside the Modern Creative Woman membership on appreciating ourselves and then extending that self-compassion and appreciation towards others. I'll be talking about gratitude all month long on the podcast and on Instagram Live. And if this work speaks to you, then I hope you will join us this month. The first live workshop is November 14th. And so many of you are asking about Paris. I'm partnering with my dear friend Aurora Devoli of Girl Boss Paris, and we are bringing you the most unique experience next summer, and it will help you align your inner and outer worlds according to what you most desire. We'll have art, style, creativity, art therapy, of course, delicious French cuisine, some really powerful coaching, and luxury location. You'll get, of course, insider knowledge of Paris from a local, as well as the most inspiring total transformation package. And this is something that is what I would love to do. It's all the amazing things that inspire me about Paris and about traveling with women. Aurora and I have both curated many international trips, and this will be my 6th international group trip that I've organized for women. However, it's the first one in Paris, so it's extra special. There is something really powerful about getting out of your usual routine, and it allows you to imagine your life differently. You try things differently, you speak to different people, you see new things, and it's as if we can't take anything for granted. There is nothing like a new location to awaken the creative spirit. The trip also includes 6 months of pre-trip coaching. You'll get a personal style consultation with Aurora and an individual strengths assessment and report from me. And we'll really prepare you with the neuro-creativity skills in advance for your treasure hunt in Paris. And you can hit the ground running, ready to soak in all the beauty of Paris. Now, if this is interesting, exciting, or you're even just a little bit curious about what this might entail, give me a DM. You can find me at Dr. Amy Bakos on Instagram. I can send you all the details. And if you register before the end of November, you get early bird pricing. And that's really our gratitude for those of you who register early. So I really want to encourage you to check it out as soon as possible, even if you're just a little bit curious, you're uncertain it's for you, or maybe you think it's not for you this year. I would love to have a conversation with you. Let's dive into gratitude. Now remember, gratitude is the quality of being thankful. It's when you're kind of ready to show your appreciation or return some kind of kindness. But it's an emotion that's similar to appreciation, a little bit differently. The American Psychological Association defines gratitude as this phenomenon. It's a phenomenon of happiness and thankfulness. And it's in response to some kind of fortunate happenstance or some kind of gift, or even being in nature where you're receiving beauty, or being in Paris and receiving beauty. But there's a really unique way I want you to think about gratitude. Gratitude is both a state and a trait. And this comes from some research by Jans Birkin in 2020. And if you think about your state, you could be in a state of happiness because something happened. You could also have a trait of happiness, where you just kind of lean towards happiness. You put a lot of time and attention into that experience of happiness. So gratitude is like that. You can feel grateful in the moment when something happens, and you can also build it up as one of your core strengths and a trait that you carry with you wherever you go. And gratitude is definitely part of the strengths assessment that I'll be using in Paris. Maybe another way to think of it is that you can experience gratitude for someone or something at a certain moment in time, and you can also experience gratitude in a long-term way as this positive character trait. And gratitude as a character trait comes from positive psychology. According to Robert Emmons, the feeling of gratitude involves 2 stages. And I've talked about Emmons and McCulloch before. So first part of gratitude is really just acknowledging the goodness in your life. And in the state, we say kind of like yes to life. We affirm that, yeah, there are some good things that make life worth living. And when we acknowledge that we got something good that gratifies us, we feel good too. So the second part of gratitude is really looking at that goodness as occurring also outside of us, that we can be grateful to other people, to animals, to the world, to nature. Goodness is there in our lives. And so these 2 stages of gratitude make up kind of the recognition of goodness in our lives. It's kind of what's happening outside of us and then how it came to us. If you have yet to join the 21-day gratitude challenge, I want to personally invite you. There is so much good in the world, but there's a lot happening that maybe is extremely uncomfortable. Maybe things are hard right now. But it's my hope that this 21-day gratitude challenge can contribute a little bit of peace inside and outside. And really, it's from this place of gratitude that I imagine we can work more towards peace. So the 21-day gratitude challenge just is bringing your awareness to the good in you, your family, your community, and the world. There's a little bit of art in it. There's some great quotes, and some writing in a journal page. You can find it at the moderncreativewoman.com/gratitude challenge. The link is in the show notes. It's free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to give me your email. You don't have to do anything but just download the workbook. And I really want to encourage you to share it with people, share your gratitude, share the workbook. It's something that you could use with coworkers, clients, students. And it really is a spirit that we can cultivate and make a huge change, like a cultural attitude change in our families and in our workplace when we focus on gratitude. So please do pass it on. It really can help people who are unsure where to begin when they want to find inner peace or outer peace. Deepak Chopra says, gratitude opens the door to the power, the wisdom, and the creativity of the universe. Wow, that's powerful. The gratitude opens the door to power, wisdom, and creativity from the universe. So we really should be focusing more on gratitude. But I think a lot of times we get so stuck with our feelings of anxiety. So you can have some anxiety as a state. Something happens, we feel anxious, or we have a thought, we feel anxious. Or we can have it more like a trait of feeling anxious. But welcome to the club. We all experience anxiety, every single one of us. And there's been some really cool scientific studies about how gratitude can offer this alternative to anxiety, right? I'm talking about inner peace. Science is talking about removing anxiety. Same kind of idea. And there's a strong link between gratitude and creative problem solving. This was so exciting to me when I found this line of research. So when we experience positive emotions like gratitude, happiness, we really enhance our ability to solve problems, specifically come up with more ideas for action. Wow, if you want to be more creative, try gratitude. This is incredible stuff, how important gratitude is. So I'm not talking about denying a problem when it arises. And when we face a crisis, which happens to all of us, it's part of life, there's a stress that happens. We can still focus on cultivating gratitude, even during the stress. We can use our creative spirit to try and solve the problem or to generate feelings of ease. Now, the creative aspect here allows us to look for opportunities, perhaps to get help or to solve the problem or just to feel better in the moment. So if we're closed off to that feeling of gratitude, essentially we're not using part of our potential brain power. And the really great news, of course, is science shows that gratitude, like creativity, can be developed through practice. It's drawing our attention to it over and over every single day that allows us to shift from having moments of gratitude to strengthening that character trait of gratitude. I have 5 ideas that I want to share with you that can move you in the direction of gratitude. So you may be surprised or not that Americans are least likely to say thank you at work. So we think, why should we be thanked for doing our job? Why should we thank someone who's getting paid? Well, it's because saying thank you and extending appreciation increases collaboration, it increases our good emotions, and it helps people want to be a part of the team. It helps people want to give you more in the future. So if you say thank you at work a lot, I think you'll start to see some changes. So this is tip number 5, and we'll work our way down. Number 5, always thank someone who gives you a service. And I don't just mean thanks. I mean, thank you so much for your service at dinner. Everything was wonderful. You can thank them like they cooked it themselves. Look them in the eyes like you were a guest in their home. Your server will be so appreciative of your noticing their work, gives them a feeling of pride to be thanked. If someone says thank you to you at work, maybe you're the kind of woman that brushes compliments off and you say, no big deal. Of course, no problem. But you can increase your good emotions, your feeling better by looking the person in the eye and saying, thank you. Wow, thank you. Even if it feels a little uncomfortable to receive compliments, it's part of the practice of gratitude, giving and receiving. I want to bring us to number 4. Your tip on gratitude number 4 is about gratitude for children. I was working with a parent and they said they don't thank their child for doing their chores or doing what's expected. And I disagreed with this. You can say thank you to your child or to another child you know for just doing what they're doing. Maybe they're just talking with you. They're eating at the table. They're showing you their toy. You can say, thank you for doing your chores. I appreciate it a lot because it's an important contribution to our happy home. Makes me feel happy to have your support with your chores. Or maybe it's a child that you see out in the park or at a restaurant. You could say, I'm so happy to see you today in the park. It made me really happy. I liked hearing about how school is going for you. And thank you for sharing your toy. Here's why this matters. Children begin to form their self-image based on how others see them. So you can start to think back on your own childhood. We see ourselves based on how others see us. That's the beginning of our self-image and how our self-concept comes together and how the line of thinking that runs through your head has gotten so strong. So if, a parent's frustrated or irritated, their trait is non-gratitude and they're sad or depressed, a child begins to build their sense of self based on how other people are reacting to them. They're going to think, well, maybe they're not that interesting because no one pays attention to them. Maybe they'll think that they're a bother or they are annoying to other people because their parent was just easily annoyed. And it had nothing to do with the child, but this is how we develop our sense of self. So you can gift people with the ability to see themselves in a positive light by telling a child, thank you, I appreciate you, I'm so grateful for you, I love seeing you, so happy you're here, you light up my life. You help them form a perception of themselves that is positive and strength-based. Research shows kids need one person. That's sort of the good news. They only need one person who believes in them to cultivate that voice. That could be you. And even if it's not like you're the only one in their life giving them praise, your contribution is huge. So that was number 4. Say thank you to a child. Okay, number 3 is all about priming your mind for gratitude, right? You like gonna paint your office, you prime the wall and then you paint it the color you like. If you're going to paint a picture, you put gesso on your canvas and then you add the paint. So I'm talking about this priming technique that can really help you lay the foundation for gratitude. And this is just a gratitude walk. Say thank you 100 times on your walk today. So I did it this morning. I counted on my fingers, so I was sure that I got to 100. And I actually counted to 100 a few times. And it really put me in the mindset that I was grateful. And I started to feel really good. I noticed how I was grateful for my neighborhood, grateful for my body for walking me, for my dog who was walking with me. So I was priming my brain for gratitude. And then I walked in the house and I told my husband, thank you for hanging up some new hooks. Why does that matter? Families that say thank you are building bonds. And it's the same as how children develop their self-image and the way they see themselves based on the impression of others. It happens to us as adults as well. So priming your mind for gratitude brings me to the next one. Catch someone doing something good. Now you can tell a friend or your partner that you appreciate what they did or even some quality of them, something about who they are. But you can just start with something simple, like notice when your partner does the dishes. Now, it might be their job or, on the chore list to do the dishes. All you have to do is say how much you appreciate it. And this really matters for appreciating one another. And here's why. When we take something for granted, like, well, they're supposed to do that chore, it's a subtle act of ingratitude. It makes us kind of an ingrate when we fail to notice what it is. So many things we wanted in the past, we have now. If we continue to be grateful for them, that is using our gratitude. If we stop being grateful, we're becoming a little bit of an ingrate. All right. And here's my number 1 tip for cultivating gratitude. I want you to complete all of these exercises that I just mentioned. And at the end, you're going to see yourself as a grateful person. And these experiments can help you feel good about yourself. In the same way that you're helping a child feel good about themselves, you're going to start to feel good about yourself and see yourself as full of gratitude. So after you complete some gratitudes, this is what I want you to do. I want you to create a self-portrait of you full of gratitude. You can use paint, markers, collage, found objects, whatever you like. The point of the exercise is to help you see yourself as a person who uses their values and moves towards what's most important to you. And in this case, it's gratitude and feeling good. You'll have, some experience under your belt, and you'll start to know what it feels like to be experiencing gratitude in a state and then working on building it into one of your powerful core traits. So in review, these 5 things are gratitude at work. Say thank you more than you think is appropriate. Say thank you and appreciate a child. You can prime your mind with a gratitude walk. Catch somebody doing something good and say thank you. And then finally paint yourself just so full of gratitude. Show what that looks like. I really do hope that you keep me posted when you try these. I would love to hear from you. You can find me at Dr. Amy Bacos in all the places. I hang out most of the time on Instagram, so you can find me there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. So now that you know about how important gratitude truly is, what will you create? Do come join me and the Modern Creative Woman over on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. And if you like what you're hearing on the podcast, I want to give you a personal invitation to meet me inside the membership, where we really take a deep dive in the art and science of creativity. Remember to grab your free copy of the 21-Day Gratitude Challenge. Link is in the show notes. You can also find it at moderncreativewoman.com/gratitude challenge. Have a wonderful week, and I cannot wait to talk with you in the next episode about the art and science of your creativity. See you next time.